Hi guys, welcome back. So we're a bit all over the place again this week. So Si's away and Ryan's working. So we're having to pre-record. So let's firstly have a look back at last week's tournament. So the Kazoo Classic at the London Club was a great event, and it's great to see so many more events coming back to the UK, coming back into England, stuff that we can go and watch, get to and see all these great stars play. I thought the London Club looked great. It was one of those things, I've played there before, and it really gave me that want and feeling that I want to go back and play it again. It looked really, really good. So Callum Hill was the eventual winner. Some really strong showings from us on the way through, and I managed to get some points again last week. Absolute shock, but it's going to change because obviously we're going back stateside, so it's all going to go wrong.
Okay, I'm going to quickly jump in. Adam didn't realise I had enough time to film this bit for you, so here we go. Quite a small number of people playing this week. I don't know whether I've missed anyone from the pre-record last week, so if you don't see your name in the next bit, let me know. Put what your picks were in the comments below and I'll get you included and I'll get your points added. But here we go, this is what I've got, and the weekly table looks like this. And as you can see, I actually had a really, really good week. There was a little bit of argument amongst the Patreons in our Patreon chat, as I didn't actually let anyone know who I picked until Monday after the event had finished. But for full clarity, I picked Alexander Levy, who was a crazy 100 to 1 shot. I put 30 points on him. He came second, and that's where a lot of my points went. I also picked Victor Perez and James Morrison. Love a bit of James Morrison, the old singer come golfer. So two 13 places with Perez and Morrison, and then second place with Levy, which is why I ended up with quite a few points. Ryan Rosansky coming in second, and then actually the PJ Life boys had a really, really good showing, and the reason Simon and Adam have identical points is because they picked identical picks, and they didn't know who had picked what, and they went in the system. They didn't know that they picked the same, but there we are. Those were the boys. And then down the bottom there, minus 300s for Kieran, Marcus and Richard Hodge. All tough weeks for you. Kieran picking 4 players, all missing the cut, which is crazy, as did Marcus. Richard picking 2 players, both missing the cut there. Glenn Taylor gone for, he went all in Club Fisher, and he came 55th, so no points for Glenn. How does that affect the PJ Life overall table? Well, obviously with the other boys getting equal points, that just means that I pull away a little bit more, which is always nice to see. So I'm a good 8,000 points ahead, which is pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm feeling confident, so I just need to keep turning that screw. As for you guys at home, well, Kieran obviously not scoring and Marcus not scoring, and Antti not playing this week meant that there was a little move in the fact that Daddy Trett and Ryan Rosansky and all that made a little bit of a close up on the top 3, but Kieran and Marcus still miles out in front, so it's great to see, and you know, we love that you're getting involved, so yeah, I really appreciate it. So this week, obviously, get your picks in down below.
So we have a European Tour event this week. It's the D&D Czech Masters. So a really staple event on the European Tour. Podrick Harrington's going to be in the field. So I wonder who he's looking at, whether there's anybody in that field he's thinking of for his captain's picks from the Ryder Cup. We're past 72, 7,467 yards long. Thomas Peters won there in 2019, so it might be a bit of a big hitters golf course. But check out the Czech Masters this week on the European Tour. See what I did there? So our focus this week is back stateside for the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Now, I've been talking about peaking in the playoffs all year, so I wonder if my team will do any good. But first, let's have a look at Liberty National. So Liberty National is one of those golf courses that looks absolutely stunning. Those views overlooking the water going over to New York City, but it wasn't always the case. So a really disused piece of land, warehouse blocks. It was used as a bit of a dumping ground in the Second World War for like oil and bits and pieces for the aircraft, I believe. So it was one of those things that like a disused piece of land has been turned into a stunning golf course, and it always gives great results in terms of the tournament. There's been some great finishes down the years, but who's going to get it done this year. So my team is going to do okay, I think, I hope. I just need to catch these boys up. So I'm going for last week's winner. So this is a long golf course, par 71, 7-3. So always a bit of a longer hitters golf course. So I'm going Kevin Kisner at 70-1. Won last week, going to be in decent form hopefully. So that's my first pick for 25 points. Second, Daniel Berger, a big hitter, going to be part of the Ryder Cup. Really good season so far. So at 33-1, there's 25 points. So next up, Mr. Consistent, Webb Simpson. Finds lots of fairways, going to find lots of greens, and has really performed well around this golf course in the past. 33-1, 25 points. And lastly, Garrick Higo. So having a great season, but at 200-1, really hoping he just gets in that sort of top 50, top 40 sort of bracket and then just pull some points in from there. But if he has a really good week, it could give me some good points to catch these boys up.
The Northern Trust is our focus this week, as Adam has said, and unlike him, I'm not going to give you why I'm picking them, because mainly I just like, you know, picking anyone from the list. So I don't sort of know who's who and what's what, but there is the who's who of golfers playing this week. I'm going to put up the betting on the screen for you whilst I go through my picks. Remember to get your picks in the comments down below. So I'm going for just my favourites really. So I'm going 25 points on Justin Thomas at 25-1. I'm going 25 points on recent winner Abraham Answer. Got a win under his belt the other week. He's 35-1. I'm going 25 points on Poulter. I hope he really sort of picks his game up a bit, because the Ryder Cup is coming. I think he's a brilliant Ryder Cup player. He's got to be one of those wild cards. He's 90-1 this week. I really want him to do well. And my final pick, my final 25 points, Lee Westwood is 200-1. I mean, that's got to be worth a punt, hasn't it? Like, insane odds for a guy who was in absolute blistering form earlier in the year. Let's hope he can carry on with that form, maybe get me a few points. So those are my picks. Don't forget your picks in the comments below, and hopefully you will see all three of us live next week. Until then, back to Adam.
So as always with these FedEx Cup points, there's going to be like the ebbs and flows. You're going to see the graphic in the top right hand corner, people that are making it to next week's competition. So keep an eye on those numbers, because it could affect your picks next week of who you're going to get. But it's one of those high pressure end of the season for big money on the PGA Tour. So the FedEx Cup, first playoff event, the Northern Trust Open, some stunning views. Get watching, get those comments in. Probably don't pick anybody I've just picked. Guys, we'll see you next week.